Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Calvary Chapel Salmon podcast. My name is Jordan Schaefer, joined with the wonderful Hagen Miller. Hagen, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Oh, I'm having a good day so far.
Where's your coat?
Well, I was getting a little warm. Yeah, see, I'm watching this TV show called Severance. If you don't like language, it's probably not the best show for you because it has a little language. But besides that, it's just like a sci-fi mystery drama show. It's kind of hard to explain, but they all wear suits. I was like, that looks pretty tough. So I was like, but I don't want to look Mormon, so I don't want to wear like an actual suit. But then I was like, okay, well, how can I make this work? And I tried some things out. And I landed on the hoodie with the suit jacket. But I'm not wearing the suit jacket right now because I got a little toasty.
Wow.
But I'm wearing the suit pants. So
Severance,
monochrome
what?
Severance. It's quite the idea. So
Well, like if I fired you, I could give you severance pay.
Yeah, maybe that's where
Is
they
that
get
the
it
idea?
from. No, the idea is they sever your brain.
Oh, okay.
Separate your brain where it's like you have like your work consciousness and your outside consciousness, and you only remember working at work and you only remember at home. So you go down into work and like that's your whole existence because you don't remember the outside world. So it's kind of like this is kind of like crazy.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll be able to do that one day with Elon Musk's brain chips. So you don't want, and it's like super good for the people on the outside because they never have to go to work. Or every time they do go to work, they just wake up again. Remember, they just skip to the end of the day. Do you ever wish you could just skip to the end of the day, Hagen?
I wish I could skip to the end of this podcast.
Jeez.
No.
Wow.
Well, you actually can skip to the end of this podcast, but you wouldn't want to.
Of course not. You'll miss all this good stuff that we're gonna talk about. Like something.
Do you know they gave like an Emmy or a Grammy for podcasts and we weren't even nominated?
What the heck? And I know that Joe Rogan didn't even win.
That's right. But from what I heard, it's because they want you to pay a nomination fee, and he wouldn't do it.
How much is this nomination fee?
I don't know. It's not that much, but it's on principle. It's like, I've been nominated. You want me to pay? And then it's like, who even decides this? It's like weird people.
Yeah, it's like people's friends. Yeah, it's all about who you know.
That's right.
Yeah, that's all those shows are. People just congratulating, giving their friends awards.
Did you see the Grammys this weekend?
I've seen clips and
Jelly Roll.
Yes, I saw that clip. It's very good. Didn't I send that to you?
Part of it, yeah.
Yeah. Jelly Roll's like, they're gonna kick me off for saying this.
He has this little Bible.
Jesus.
All I had was a Bible and a radio the same size in this 12 by whatever jail cell.
Music can change my life, but God can change my life
Jesus
too.
is for everybody.
Amen.
It's like, go for it. Yes.
Yeah. And then everyone else is just talking about ice.
Yeah.
Ice this, ice that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That one.
And then the one guy really messed up his song.
His own song?
The guy was like, the angels up in the clouds, the Ordinary? What's
Ordinary.
yeah. Who does that song though? We don't know who does it, but he the track where there's like two tracks playing in his ears or whatever.
Oh wow.
It's like you're the Grammys. You can't figure out how to do tracks. It's like, come on. JS Church, Joshua Springs Calvary Chapel can figure out tracks.
Hey, that's interesting.
Yeah, well, that whole idea of tracks when people perform, it's like you can't just sing your own song. You need to like listen to it too.
Right.
It's just like, huh. Maybe you're not as talented as I thought you were.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been thinking about this, and I don't know why this is a big deal to me. Do you know that there was a season in not too long ago American history when people thought this was a good idea? Waterbeds. Do you know what a waterbed is?
Say segregation.
No. Do you know what a waterbed is?
I have heard of waterbeds.
Have you seen one?
You know? I think like in the shows we would watch, like the rom-coms and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Never in person, I don't think.
It's
maybe actually at my aunt and uncle's house, I might have like a memory of going over there and sleeping over there and be like, this is the waterbed.
Yeah.
Just like a mattress full of water.
Yeah. In the middle of your house. It's like, let's think about leakage here. Let's think about there's no way it could be comfortable. And this was like the thing. And
yeah, I don't know.
They must have not worked out because I don't think anyone has a waterbed anymore.
Yeah, it's just
if you're listening, you have a waterbed. Comment down below.
That's interesting. What spurred this on?
I saw it on some show I was watching, and I thought, whoa, that's crazy. And I was somewhere once helping someone move, I think, and they had a waterbed. And it's like you have to hook a hose up to it and drain your bed before you can
I wasn't
move.
quite sure if it's like, is that literally water, or is it some sort of like code where it's just like
it's
the way
literally you just fill this big old bladder thing up with water and sleep on it, and it's like,
I don't know if you get it firm enough, maybe it could be comfy.
Yeah,
but just swishing and squashing all night.
Literally, isn't this comfy? It's like no,
it's probably super hard to get out.
Yeah,
like,
it is. Plus, I can't swim, so I'm not into it at all.
That's scary for you. Yeah.
So I just thought that was so weird that we thought that was a good idea.
I don't know. I wonder who invented the waterbed.
Yeah,
we need to do some more research and talk about this again.
Sheesh.
That's crazy. Well, hey, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I'm glad I remembered that.
Yeah, golly. Ooh, well, are we excited for the Super Bowl this weekend, Hagen?
Is that this weekend?
This Sunday. Excited to hear. I was thinking about making some jalapeno poppers. Not the jalapeno poppers, the bacon wrapped stuffed peppers or whatever.
Whoa.
Those are my favorite.
So you'll bring them.
Well, yeah. I'm hoping someone else will make them and bring them.
It's like, who could I hint
I'm speaking this out.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Those are so good. Yeah, if you come to church on Sunday, you want to make me some jalapeno stuffed cream cheese bacon wrap things. I never asked for anything, but that would be so good.
Yes. And you will give the Tupperware back.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although Connie came up to me and said, Jordan, I don't need that Tupperware back. I was like, okay, bet.
She gave it to you.
Yeah. She said, I gave it to you expecting, which is interesting because it's like some people, it's not clear at all. Some people have the definite expectation, this is my Tupperware and you're going to give it back to me.
That's right.
Which is fine, which is fair. And then other people are like, of course not. Like, I'm just giving you this thing.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I wish there was just like a set rule where it's like you give it to someone and you don't expect it back, or it's like definitely give it to be back within 1 week.
Wow.
But then it's like someone gives you some stuff and you don't eat all of it and just sitting in your fridge. You gotta like throw it out and then give it back and say,
give them your half-eaten whatever. Be like, thanks.
Yeah, you gotta like pretend you like you ate it all or something. Which of course I ate all the food that people gave us.
Of
It's
course.
so tasty. Yes.
Yes.
So that's just an interesting social thing.
Speaking of social things.
Oh yeah. Pumpkin texted me this morning. We had a waterbed because of Sam, my dog. He just peed right on our blanket.
Oh,
and he
wow.
doesn't usually do that. Sometimes
This
he'll get
is new to him,
overexcited
huh?
and his bladder will just kind of let up. But that's usually when he's like about to get food or something. But then this morning, there was like an animal in the yard or something. He just ran back in the bed and I was still kind of half asleep. And he starts peeing. It's like, what? So that's how I woke up this morning.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Speaking of social things, Genesis chapter 4 is quite the social conundrum.
Sure. We've talked about the fall of mankind in Genesis chapter 3. Adam and Eve were forced to leave the Garden of Eden so they wouldn't eat of the tree of life and live forever in their sinful fallen state. And we have a word for that.
That's right. Hell.
That's right. Genesis chapter 4 picks up, now Adam knew his wife and she conceived.
I thought they already knew each other.
I think they did. This time he knew him and she conceived. Because every time you know someone, they don't conceive.
It's true.
It's true. It has to be the special time of the month.
Okay, I see where you're going. Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, this does not imply that before the fall they couldn't have kids. I know the Mormons would teach you that. Your Mormon programming tells you that, Hagen.
It's how it's laid out. But
I was even reading it again this morning because thinking about it, it's like, of course they realized they were naked when they sinned, but nakedness wasn't even a thing before. It's like clothes was not a concept. For us, we have the concept of clothed and naked. Before sin, there wasn't. They were just that they weren't naked.
They just were.
They just were. But for our definition, they were naked. And it even says that, like, they were naked.
It does say that.
Yes. So, of course, they could have intimacy. They didn't know they were naked because that wasn't even a concept. So they could have intimacy before the fall. They probably did if they obeyed God's commandment, which they did because they didn't sin. So this is not the first time, but she conceives. This is the first time she conceives and bore Cain and said, I have acquired a man from the Lord. Cain's name means to acquire, so that's why she says, I have acquired a man from the Lord. It's very possible here that Eve has this beautiful little baby boy and is thinking, oh man, what one? Hey, and think about the first time ever getting pregnant, going through that process and giving birth.
I remember my first time. Yeah, it was rough.
Just like this, I don't know, just like, why is your tummy getting so big? And they don't know why. And Adam's like, Eve's eating too many of those Oreo cookies. But no, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And it's like, no, something's up.
Adam just fat shapes his wife for 9 months.
Well, they wouldn't know better.
Sorry about that.
And then it just comes out and it's like, whoa, that must have been exciting the first time.
Yeah.
It's like all these things they've never seen before, never experienced before. And they think, at least Eve probably thinks, this is the seed of the woman. This might be the promised child who's going to crush Satan's head. I've acquired a man from the Lord. This is it. She's going to learn that this guy's not it, but she might just be thinking that. Verse 2, then she bore again, this time his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. So we have the 2 boys, first 2 children ever, and they grow up and they get some different jobs. Abel's a keeper of the sheep, a shepherd, and Cain's a tiller of the ground or a farmer.
And in the process of time, verse 3 says.
Oh, wow. You don't have anything to say about that?
It's nice.
Yeah.
That Abel's a
nice
shepherd.
Little family. Yeah.
I'll circle back to that when I come to sacrifice time.
Oh, okay. I just think like it's they have like their perfect genetic, well, not perfect genetics because sin has been introduced, but they probably still have some pretty good genetics. They don't have a mom's side and a dad's side of their family because mom was taken out of dad by his rib, so they probably look pretty similar.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Verse 3.
And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to the Lord. Some time passes. Cain brings an offering to the Lord. What does he bring? He brings what he does. What does he do? Till the ground. Verse 4, and Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat. And the Lord respected Abel and his offering. Abel brings an offering. He brings what he does. Sheep, a lamb, firstborn, offers it to God. And God respects the offering of Abel. But, verse 5, he did not respect Cain and his offering. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. What's going on here?
Well, they're sacrificing to God, which is interesting. Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel know that they need to sacrifice for their sins. They probably got this idea when God killed that lamb to give them clothes, that their sin needs to be atoned for. Something needs to die for their sins. And so Cain and Abel are just continuing on probably what Adam and Eve taught them. We don't know too many of the details, but it does, like, do they do it once a day or once a year, once a week? We don't know. But at some point, Cain decides maybe to go off script. And maybe decides to bring some fruit and vegetables instead of a lamb, instead of an animal. He's tired of buying sheep from his brother. It's like, I don't want to need you. I have my own really good watermelons over here and kiwis. I think God likes those. Have you ever seen those edible arrangements? With like you get like
not
gifts?
In real life, but yes.
I got those. Yeah, they're really good. Just like these little fruit baskets where they're all cut up.
They taste way better than flowers.
Yeah, heck yeah. Cain's like, I'm going to give God an edible arrangement. He's going to love this.
Yes.
But God doesn't like it. It's interesting.
Why doesn't God like it?
Well, you told me.
I don't know.
Because it's not a blood sacrifice. And, there's a lot of other things we can see in this. The Bible tells us that Abel, he was a shepherd, but he wasn't just a shepherd. He was also a prophet. In Luke chapter 11, verse 51, Jesus calls Abel a prophet, which, again, adds more depth to this whole story with the idea that Abel, through some sort of gift of prophecy, was probably aware that this sacrifice, this lamb, was probably there was a bigger picture there. Abel probably didn't know everything, but he was aware that there was a meaning behind this lamb. There was a reason why it had to be a lamb. It couldn't be fruit. And he was a prophet. And he probably talked about that. But Cain didn't like that.
To speculate, maybe this would maybe help just with a little hint of idea that maybe the skins that God used to cover Adam and Eve were lambs.
That would make sense.
In a sense, God sets the standard.
Sure.
And the reason why they're sacrificing is because God sacrificed for mom and dad when they sinned.
Yeah.
So there's kind of this thing. Again, it doesn't quite say that, but just kind of connecting some dots, you could kind of imply that. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Cain brings, instead of this sacrifice, instead of this thing dying on his behalf, he brings the fruit of his labor. He brings his own works, we could say, and God doesn't approve that. So here we can definitely see all religions. Religion is either based off of Jesus dying for your sins and taking your place, or you presenting your own works and righteousness and trying to atone or make it to heaven that way. We see the only two options there really are.
There's two religions, the religion of Cain and the religion of Abel.
Yep. And Cain probably doesn't like Abel's religion because it's so gross. Someone's got to die, got to chop it up, it's smelly, my fruit basket looks so much nicer. And oftentimes the works religion can look a lot more appealing, can look a lot better. This idea that's just be a good person and, go to church and have a family and just, do these things, go to the temple, go do these things. And it's so nice and sounds so good and looks so good. But God said, if there's not the blood, if something's not dying for your sins, someone's not taking your place, then I don't approve of it. So, yeah, there's definitely those just two options there. And Cain, when he sees that God didn't like his offering, Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. His smile turned into a frown.
That's right.
Got upset.
No one... Do you know this? We used to sing this in... it's called Primary in Mormonism. We'd have these little songs. No one likes a frowny face. Change it for a smile. Make the world a better place by smiling all the while.
Do you know that if you smile, you will trick your brain into being happy? It's true.
Yes. If you chance to meet a frown, do not let it stay. Quickly turn it upside down and smile all the way. Wow. There'd be like a cardboard cutout where it's a frowny face, but then when you turn it upside down, it's a smiley face.
That's so nice.
Yeah, it was great.
That sounds a little culty, but I know it's fine, probably. It's cute. So Cain's upset. He's angry. Wouldn't you like it when you get upset and angry and are tempted to do bad things if God literally showed up and tried to talk you out of it? Because that's what Cain gets. Verse 6, the Lord said to Cain, why are you angry? And why is your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you not do well, sin lies at the door, and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. Cain's upset, he's angry, he's getting all jealous, and God shows up and it's like, hey, buddy, why are you upset?
This is interesting.
Why are you angry? Yeah.
That there's this engagement or relationship that feels a little bit like the Garden of Eden still, and God showing up and talking with them. And I would argue maybe that notice this fellowship, this communion is happening presumably at the place of sacrifice. This is where they're hearing from God.
That makes sense.
So that's kind of interesting to see. But then also what's interesting about verse 6 is God's challenging Cain's attitude. Notice it's not like this isn't the end of the world.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm pleased with your brother's sacrifice, I'm not pleased with yours, but it's not like Cain's damned because of this. God's like, hey, like this can be fixed very easily.
Yeah.
Just do it my way.
Yeah.
Just do it the way that I've laid out. Stop doing it your way and do it my way. So it's not like God's approach here is not anger. Cain's angry at the thing, but the Lord's just like, it's very easy to get on track.
Sure.
So it's just like the attitude of the Lord versus the attitude of Cain's, and the Lord is inviting Cain to just simply change his attitude about the situation.
Yep.
Why are you acting this way? Why are you angry? Why is your countenance fallen? And notice, I'm not even planning any of this, but this is good. Notice God is implying that Cain's attitude is his problem, meaning he can control it.
Ooh.
Right?
Yes.
Why are you angry? Stop being angry. Why is your countenance fallen? Be happy. Like you have a responsibility of your attitude towards circumstances, Cain.
Sure.
And that's true for you and me as well.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, it's either you can just do it my way or do it your way. And if you choose to do it your own way, if you choose to stay prideful and just keep this bad attitude, it will lead to sin. If you do not do well, if you don't just say, okay, God, I'm going to accept your way. I don't understand it completely, but I'm just going to say that you're right and I'm wrong. It's going to lead to sin. Sin lies at the door, and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. It's kind of cool. We have sin kind of personified. The term lying at the door is kind of like the idea is like crouching, waiting to pounce on you. The sin, it's waiting to get you. And the solution is just to just let go of your pride, let go of your anger, and just say, okay, God, I accept you're right. I'm wrong. I'm just going to do things your way. And then sin has no power over you. But if you just keep on doing your own thing, keep on having your own pride, and just kind of thinking, no, I'm going to do it my own way, then it's going to get you. Again, we see that responsibility. You should rule over it. Like you should, even though Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel are in a sinful, fallen state, they're sinners, that they've fallen. They still have this responsibility. They can still say no.
Right.
They still have this ability.
Even just all of the wordage in verse 7, if you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lies at the door, and its desire will be for you, but you shall rule over it. It's like the emphasis is, well, what's happening in verse 7 is this is a crossroads for humanity. Just like kind of the eating of the fruit was a bit of a crossroads. Now for Cain, this is a crossroads, and the choice that he makes is going to determine the outcome. Which road do you want to go? Here's two paths, Cain. Which road are you going to choose? He's going to choose the wrong one.
Yes.
But like he has two paths to choose from. And God's like showing him that. Like choose. And again, God's not making him choose. He's showing him what his choices are. He's telling him the right choice to make, but he's leaving the decision up to Cain. So what choice does he make?
Good one. Verse 8, now Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and killed him. How does he do it? I don't know. We always see pictures with like a rock or something.
Probably with a gun, because guns kill people.
Amen. Good.
No.
We're not sure how
people kill people.
Exactly. We're not sure how soon after this happened. It would seem to be kind of soon after. But Cain and Abel, they're talking. Cain's like, hey, Abel, can I have a chat with you in private in this field? Abel's like, okay.
Yeah.
And Cain murders him in cold blood. I'm sure he was stewing on this for a while. Well, this is not fair. Why does God like him and not me? And, I'm the firstborn. This is not right. And all this pride and anger just kind of bubbles up, and then he acts on it.
Yeah. So it's like, I like how it says now Cain talked with Abel. So it's like, are they discussing this predicament?
Yes.
How come God like your sac? And maybe Abel's, trying to reason with, hey, God wants the lamb. And, if you just let me know, I could give you one of my lambs. Just let me know. And this is just infuriating Cain.
Yeah.
And it like escalate. Maybe he wasn't even planning to kill him.
Maybe.
But through the talking, it escalates. And he's just like had it. And that sin that was lying at the door that's pouncing on him has pounced. And because he made the wrong choice and he didn't take every thought captive, and he's got this hatred, although his disappointment should be in himself, he's projected it onto his brother. And he's just like, I can't stand it.
Yeah. Nobody wakes up randomly one day and says, I'm going to kill someone today. Nobody does that. Nobody, usually people don't wake up and say, I'm going to ruin my marriage today and cheat on my wife. It's these little decisions, these little thoughts in your head that you keep in your head for a long enough time, and you brew on them, and you make a little decision here and a little decision here, and then it builds up, and then it explodes. No one wakes up and says, I'm going to go to prison for the rest of my life because of this stupid decision I'm going to make today. That's what I want to do. It's no one's plan. It just happens. And it happens all the time. And so people make stupid decisions.
Let's really fan fictionize this and really read into it, Kay, because I'm having all these thoughts. So let's assume that the reason why Cain brought fruit instead of an animal because he wasn't into killing and blood.
Oh, no.
Think about this.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now he's arguing with his brother about making sacrifices, and his brother's saying, it needs to be blood. There needs to be death for life.
Cain was a member of PETA. He didn't want to kill the animals.
Yeah.
Animals' rights.
And then it's like, but the irony of it all is that he shunned away from the acceptable sacrifice, which apparently implied blood, which when you get into Leviticus seems to confirm that if we're talking about similar standards. And like, he's like, I don't want that. I don't want your bloody religion. It's like, and yet then he turns around and sheds the innocent blood of his brother.
Sure.
And there's just like this irony maybe of it.
And it's most likely plausible because nobody has physically died before that Cain does this thing in anger, hits his brother with a rock and maybe beats him again, but then it's like doesn't realize what he's done because nobody's died before. He doesn't really understand. They've hurt themselves before. They've had pain before. But this idea, maybe he's like, wait, like, oh shoot, like he's not gonna get up. Like, oh, come on, Abel, get up. But then he doesn't.
Come on, you hit me with a rock now.
It's like, uh-oh. No.
Yeah.
And it's just like, shoot, he realizes what he's done.
But so leading up into Genesis this far, the first big recorded sin is the first sin ever, and that's disobeying God and partaking of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This is now number 2 in the timeline, and when just kind of go back in the verses that we just read, we can trace it back to these emotions like jealousy, envy, anger, and this is what caused him to act out in this way ultimately. And so as terrible as this is, you trace it back to the problem with Cain is not that he killed his brother. That is the problem, but that's just the fruit of the problem. It goes back to his heart.
Sure.
He had a heart issue, which is kind of what you were saying. Long before you cheat on your wife or kill someone, you had a problem in your heart that wasn't dealt with. Sure. What do you have?
1 John 3:11. This is not fan fiction. This is what the Bible says about Cain and Abel.
Oh, good.
For this is the message that you have heard from the beginning, that we should love one another, not as Cain, who was of the wicked one and murdered his brother. And why did he murder him? Because his works were evil and his brother's righteous. So like you said, he murdered him, but why did he murder him? Because there was this jealousy. He couldn't accept the fact that God didn't accept his sacrifice. God didn't accept all of his hard work, the fruit he would work so hard on. God didn't like that, but he liked his brother's stinky lambs. He just couldn't accept God's way. His pride got him. It's interesting. It says there, I just see this, not as Cain, who was of the wicked one. Cain was of the wicked one, of Satan. Adam and Eve were hoping that Cain, their firstborn son, would be the seed of the woman, but it kind of turns out that Cain, in a way, is a seed of the serpent. He gives into sin and he becomes a child of the devil, we could say, in the sense that he does the will of his father, the devil, because that's what Jesus tells the Pharisees. You're the son of the devil because you're doing what the devil wants you to do.
The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy.
Yes.
So Cain's doing that.
There's the irony. Oh, we're hoping this guy to be the promised one. He's going to crush Satan, but then he comes the other side and kills Abel.
And not to take away Abel's responsibility like we've been emphasizing, but I think some have pointed out that Satan is at behind the scene working in this, in the sense of Satan might be thinking Cain is this one who's going to crush my seed. Sure. So he's heavily influencing with these temptations to try to disqualify, if you will, Cain from being that
and
promise.
People see Abel as a picture of Jesus, as the shepherd, as this prophet, as this one who understands sacrifice. And then the picture obviously being Satan bruising the heel of the seed of the woman, or killing Jesus. And so we just see that imagery there of, okay, Satan killing Jesus. And we see that picture continue throughout the Old Testament. So he does it, and then verse 10, verse 9.
We see God, real quick, starting verse 9.
Yeah.
We see God coming onto the scene, and just like he did with Cain's father, Adam, God just asks a simple question to an answer that he already knows. Adam, where are you? I'm hiding because I'm naked. Who told you were naked? Now here we are, second generation Cain. And he just asks a real simple question, verse 9. The Lord said to Cain, hey, where's your brother Abel? Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Sometimes this is exactly how God speaks to us.
Yeah.
You know, it's where are you? Or why are you there? Or how come you're doing that thing? And it's not a giving him information. It's this is how he gets to our heart with our conscience.
Yeah.
Where's Abel at? And he said, I don't know. Who? Am I my brother's keeper? Very famous
Sassy
line.
And a lie.
Where's Abel? I don't know. Am I supposed to babysit the guy?
Yeah.
I mean, am I responsible for him? Am I supposed to keep track of him every hour of the day?
Yeah.
God, give me a break.
At least Adam Adam did pass the blame, but he was at least honest to a point. Cain just straight up lies here, and he's not. He has the gall, he has the audacity to murder his brother, and then to act all sassy with God.
Get sassy with the Lord.
Like, I don't know.
Which
am I my brother's
we never
keeper?
get sassy with the Lord.
Sure.
But, yeah.
So it's just like, oof, this is not good.
So then
and God should have just smoked him right there.
Yeah.
Done.
So then God asked him another question, verse 10, and he said, what have you done? What were you thinking? Have you ever heard that from your parents? What were you thinking? What have you done? And he says, the voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Or I know exactly where your brother is, and so do you. And I hear it.
Yeah.
The innocent blood of your brother is crying out of the guilt of your sin and your murder.
So now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and a vagabond you shall be on the earth. That's a fun word to say.
It is. We don't use it enough.
A vagabond. Yeah, instead of like a hitchhiker, a vagabond.
Yes.
Hey, Cain, you killed your brother and his blood's in the dirt. Now the dirt's not going to work too good for you anymore. Your whole farming business is really going to go down the tube. No more fruits and veggies for you.
So this is the consequence of sin. But I just realized in these first few chapters of Genesis, there seems to be an equation. Adam and Eve sin, and there's a curse. Cain sins, and what it says is he's cursed. Sin brings about cursing in our lives. Obedience brings about blessing. Sin brings about a curse.
Yeah.
But Jesus died to set us free from the curse of sin. So don't get too caught up in I'm cursed, I'm cursed, I'm cursed. If you have Jesus, you're set free from that. But one of the consequences of sin is curse. Curse.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know the answer to this question, but it's like, does God come and curse them for their sin, or does just sin naturally all by itself
have a curse
attached to it?
And God's telling them what it is.
Yeah.
Because you did this is the curse of the sin that you've engaged in.
And not that God doesn't judge sin and he condemns sin and he will judge sin, but sin all by itself is harmful, it does have a curse, and God's just letting them know.
Because what is sin?
It's going against God's design, which is naturally.
So in a sense, God doesn't curse, God blesses. But if you don't do what God does, then the opposite is true.
Yeah.
Then that's opposite of what you've done. Sin, the consequence it's going to bring is the opposite of blessing, which is a curse.
Sure. And yeah, sometimes Christians live their life and they do things they should, and they feel like, oh, God's just beating up on me, God's judging me. It's like, no, there's consequences for your actions, and you're reaping what you're sowing. And we don't want to think, oh, God's just punishing me for my sins. No, Jesus took the punishment for your sins, but there's still consequences to your actions. It's still going to not work out for you. God's not going to let you just get away with your sin and have nothing bad happen, because sin has bad stuff attached to it, and he wants us to learn that.
I like this idea in verse 12, when you till the ground, it shall no longer yield strength. So part of this curse is no more fruitfulness in your walk, if you will, and you're never going to settle down. Like you're never settled. And this is what sin does. It affects our fruitfulness, and it affects us feeling at home or just being at peace or being settled. You're always going to be, moving around, not having like this shalom, this peace. So.
It's been said, Cain here is a fugitive and a vagabond. Hebrews tells us that we're strangers and pilgrims. And there's a difference there. A stranger is someone who has a home but isn't there. A pilgrim who's going to their home but not yet there. A fugitive and a vagabond are both people who don't have a home.
They have no destination.
A vagabond, he's just a traveler, an aimless traveler. A fugitive, someone who's on the run from home. He doesn't have somewhere to go to. So Cain here, he doesn't have his home. We have a home that we're heading to. We're not home in this world, but we're heading to our destination. Cain, he's just aimless. He doesn't have his destination. He doesn't have anything he's looking forward to. And it will happen. Oh. Sorry, I was just going to finish the verse.
Okay.
And it will happen that anyone who... Wait, no, I'm skipping
Verse
ahead.
13, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I got confused. My bad.
And Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
All right, buddy.
Lord, no, this is too much.
How about your dead brother?
Yeah.
How's he doing right now? That's
Surely
crazy.
you have driven me out this day from the face of the ground. I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth, and it will happen that anyone who finds me will kill me.
Sheesh.
God, this is too much, because I'm going to be a stranger from your face. I'm going to be separated from you. But that's what sin does. It always results in sadness and separation. God, I'm going to be separated from your face. And someone's going to find me and kill me.
Interested. Who would find Cain and kill him?
Adam, Eve.
Well, I believe
siblings.
I believe at this point probably siblings.
Right.
Adam and Eve. Cain. We think of Cain and Abel as teenagers when they kill each other. That's most likely not the case. They probably were grown.
Probably about 22.
Yeah. Maybe 20. Yeah,
just
whatever.
Picked your age.
Yeah, okay. They're probably grown adults.
Yeah.
And Adam and Eve probably had other children who at this point, I don't know if we want to talk about this now, who at this point probably were having other kids with each other, which is called incest.
Yes.
But there's a couple things to that we can get into.
Yeah.
So he's probably worried about...
Wait till Cain gets married to talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk where Cain got his wife.
There's probably nieces and nephews, brothers and sisters who would want to come and revenge Uncle Abel on Cain. I doubt his parents are going to try and find him and kill him. But nieces and nephews are like, hey, you killed Uncle Abel. We're gonna come get you.
So Cain's worried. Notice, someone's gonna kill me. It's like, well, isn't that what you did to your brother?
Yeah.
So he's worried. Oh no, God, this is too much. But then verse 15 says, and the Lord said to him, therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest anyone finding him should kill him. God, this is too much.
He turned him into Bigfoot.
That's what my grandma believed.
Believed or believes?
Well, she died, the other grandma, but yeah.
Well, maybe Bigfoot daughter.
Yeah, no.
Maybe.
So it's like, okay, the curse of Cain or the mark of Cain.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, it's kind of a protection. It's not so much
in a sense,
curse.
there's a grace to this, right?
Oh yeah,
there's
definitely
a mercy
grace.
That yeah, I'm gonna give you something that distinguishes you from others, to not just protect you but them, because anyone who might kill you is going to get punishment sevenfold.
Sure. And it's interesting. We kind of see it with this at the beginning of humanity, and God kind of sets the standard. But then when we get to the flood and everyone's wiped out and we reset, Noah comes off the ark, and one of the main things God tells Noah, if someone kills a man, they should be killed by man. So it's kind of a different standard here than the standard that we could say we're under, where it's like, if you kill someone, you deserve the death penalty. If you kill someone in cold-blooded murder, you should die. So it's a different standard of judgment here than when God reiterates it after the flood, saying, hey, actually, no. If you slay man's blood, by man's your blood shall be slain. So a little interesting.
What isn't the curse of Cain?
What isn't? Oh, it's not being black.
It's not.
No, some people think that, which would be a little silly.
Yeah, Mormonism teaches that. But to be fair, I don't think that whole idea is unique to Mormonism.
No.
I think the early 1800 American
do they really teach that? Come on. That's probably just something some prophet said, but they don't teach that today. Come on.
Well, that was the justification as to why African Americans can have the priesthood even up until 1970,
Stop bringing that up. That's rude.
Because
That's
of the curse of Cain. So, but then God changed his mind.
I brought that up to the missionaries,
really,
and they were just, that was the one thing where they just kind of, I could tell they were not happy.
Well,
everything else,
it's
they were
a hard one to get out of.
Just like,
yeah, it's a hard one to explain away.
So, sheesh. So, verse 16, then Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. And he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch.
Notice it doesn't. Verse 16, Cain went out from the presence of the Lord. That'll preach.
Wow.
This is life now. Away from God's presence.
Sheesh.
Go ahead.
It doesn't say that he finds a wife. It just says he knew his wife, which implies that he was maybe even already married.
Sure.
We think of him going out there and finding a chick out there. It's like, no, he probably already had a wife, just hadn't had any kids.
Yeah.
And they go, and then they start their own little civilization out there. Incest is something that the Bible forbids in the law of Moses.
Yes.
You're not allowed to do that. Today we have laws against that for good reason, because when people who are too close, even your like cousins, like if you sleep with them,
if you know them
a little too well, it can create genetic defaults. That's why some of like the pure-blooded like king lines or whatever have all these weird double chins because of the incest. That's because of genetic defaults, where it's like defaults only appear when it matches with another default in the other person that you're mating with, right? That's how genetics work. If I have this default and Avery has this default, our kid's going to have this default. If I have this default and she doesn't have that default, then it's going to be okay probably, because it's a recessive gene, not a dominant gene.
You're so smart.
It's the science, yeah.
But real quick, the reason why you're going all that is because people read the first few chapters of Genesis and they think they're being really smart when they go, well, where'd Cain get his wife?
Yeah.
Because in the narrative, all we've specifically heard about is Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel.
Yeah.
That's all who's been named. So they get to chapter 4, verse 16, and they go, wait a minute, where'd he get his wife? And it's like we've already alluded to, what's happening is these events are being emphasized, but that doesn't mean that there's not more going on in the story, if you will, behind the scenes. And that's the implication, that Adam and Eve are having plenty more kids.
And that's the same as we assume Cain and Abel are super young when they kill each other, because it's the next thing that happens. It's like there could have been a bunch of stuff happening, and then they're older, and then they kill each other. But that's just the emphasis that we're given. So yeah.
So there's a few reasons why, if you will, it's okay for Cain to marry his sister.
Sure.
One, it's not against the law because the law doesn't exist yet, meaning the law of God, not the human law.
Yeah.
So because people go to Leviticus and say, well, God said this here. And it's like, yeah, that's true. But this predates the law.
Sure.
So there's
and
one thing.
That goes into your understanding of what the law in Leviticus is,
right?
Which is a big deal.
Second
That's
thing,
not binding to us anymore, and it wasn't binding to them, that it had a purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're not breaking the law of God because
not that we should sleep with people.
Yes.
But
just
to clarify,
it's not breaking the law of God. There's not a genetical problem yet. But to me, the favorite argument of this, bear with me here. I don't know if you've ever heard my teaching on this. The reason why it was okay for Cain to marry his sister is because that was the only option. And when God talks about us marrying people in 2 Corinthians, he tells us that we shouldn't be unequally yoked with a non-believer.
Yeah.
So as believers, we all become adopted into God's family.
Sure.
So the reason why you should not be unequally yoked, the reason why you need to marry another Christian, the reason why you need to marry a daughter of God is because that's actually the only option for you as a believer.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could say that in a really weird way, but the way you said it is a really good way. Yeah.
Don't know Jesus, you're not even an option.
Amen.
The only options are daughters of God.
Amen.
And the only option for him were daughters of God, which were his sisters.
Yes.
And I'm sure he picked the prettiest one.
I'm sure. Yes. Yeah. How interesting.
But there's kind of settlement taking place.
Yeah. Well, this implies this is probably the first settlement outside of where Adam and Eve were in Eden, outside of the Garden of Eden. They go to Nod, wherever that is, and they built a city. Here's the first ever city in the Bible. And cities throughout the Bible are usually negative, bad places. We have this one started by the first murderer. We have Sodom and Gomorrah. We have Nineveh. We have Babylon. Cities are usually bad. The exception would be Jerusalem, which is God's city. And in the new heavens and the new earth, we're actually going to live in the new Jerusalem. We're going to live in a city. So if you're really big into the country lifestyle, that's too bad because you're going to live in a city for all eternity.
Please.
It's going to be the best city,
yes,
but it's going to be a city. So I kind of say God redeems cities. Yeah. To Enoch was born, so he names the city Enoch after his son, which is kind of nice, I guess, kind of sweet. And then to Enoch was born Irad, not Iran, Irad, and Irad begot Mahajel, and Mahajel begot Methuselah, and Methuselah begot Lamech. Then Lamech took for himself 2 wives, Rutro. The name of one was Ada, the name of the second was Zillah. So we see here the first instance of polygamy from the black people.
Okay.
Is that what Mormons believe? That if they came as black, right? And then all his kids would be black, right?
Yeah.
And that's the first polygamists were black,
huh,
according to Mormons. According to Brigham Young, not Mormons. Verse 20.
There you go.
And Ada bore Jabal. He was the father of those who dwelt in tents and have livestock. His brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all those who play the harp and flute. And as for Zillah, she also bore Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every craftsman in bronze and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. Interesting.
Naamah's going on here.
Yes. So we have Lamech. He has these 2 wives. Not good, outside of God's design of 1 man and 1 woman. And we're going to see that he's not a very good guy, this Lamech. He has these kids, and these kids start inventing things. Now, what's interesting is you kind of get to the end of the list, and it says the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Naamah, she's just named here. She doesn't do anything, and this is the last time we see her, only time we see her. She's just named as a sister, which is really weird because usually girls aren't listed in these genealogies ever, unless they have a purpose, unless they're doing something interesting, like the 2 wives. Like, oh, that's significant. Let's name them. Adam and Eve had a bunch of girl daughters.
Sure.
None of them are named. Cain had daughters. None of them were named. Here she's named. Her name means loveliness or desirable. She was apparently a very good-looking lady, and her brothers start inventing all these things. Now I'm going to connect some dots, because later on when we get to Genesis chapter 6, we're going to see that the sons of God see the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and took wives for themselves. The angels, we've already kind of established this, angels see human women, go down, leave their proper domain, intermarry with them, and create these giants. Many people would believe that maybe Naamah, she's the first wife of the Nephilim, and that's why her brothers invent all these crazy cool things, because they get that knowledge from where did Tubal-Cain figure out bronze and iron working, craftsmanship? Maybe the angels came and told them. And if you look at all these
up in the clouds, standing with us now.
Yes. And if you look at all these different stories and myths outside the Bible and traditions, there's always these people from the stars come down and teach us how to do these things.
Right.
Teach us how to work with iron and bronze. So you just kind of combine all these myths. It's like, well, maybe this is the original. Maybe this is what actually happened.
Which, I was just listening to a podcast the other day briefly talking about the Mayans, and people think the Mayans built those pyramids, but they didn't.
Yeah,
the Mayans discovered those pyramids, and there's an idea there in Egypt too. You think the Egyptians built those, but maybe they found those.
Yeah,
and it's like, so what are these structures that are scattered throughout the globe that have a similar theme? There seems to be a mind behind them, and it's like, could have this been from
we assume that these people were cavemen, Neanderthals. Adam and Eve were probably they were probably the smartest humans to ever live, and their kids were all probably super smart. But then we get this extra bonus of this angelic knowledge. They're probably creating and building some pretty cool stuff.
Right.
It's probably wild.
Yeah. And when you think about like the development of technology, it's very interesting because like, why do we have a car? And like, you trace it back. It's like, well, we figured out combustion engines. We found gasoline. We figured out the wheel. But it's like, and it all kind of chained together. But what if you took another road of technology? Like, you'd end up somewhere else. Of still having technology evolve and develop, but you wouldn't land on the iPhone and a Tesla. You would have landed something else.
Yeah.
So my point is, we look at these things and we go, this technology of Egypt or the Mayans or whatever, and there's just such a mystery to us. But it's like, their technology is not circuit boards and computers.
Yeah.
Their technology is another path that we don't even understand how these structures exist, let alone what they were doing with them. And we
still don't. We have no idea how they built the pyramids. We don't know. And most of the things that we learn about Egypt or the pyramids are guesses and, not reliable. I don't trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, think about, if the Garden of Eden was somewhere by Jerusalem, if you will, the Middle East, I mean, it's probably not on this side. It's probably over there.
Yeah.
I mean, to get to people would be established in Egypt pretty early on.
Sure.
I mean, these are places that are over there that are just like super old.
Sure.
In relation to anthropology to humans, and when I say super old, I only mean 6,000 years, not even what other people would suggest, but 6,000 years in biblical anthropology is like as old as you get.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's just like there's a lot of history in that geography that creates a lot of interesting technology that we don't even know. And Jordan's blaming Naamah for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the angels that thought she was really good looking. But anyways, verse 23, then Lamech said to his wives, honey, let me tell you something.
Come here, girls.
Ada and Zillah, hear my voice. Wives of Lamech, listen to my speech. I thought Lamech was a real fun guy.
I bet he's real dramatic as he talks.
Yeah. Wives of Lamech, here, listen to my speech. For I have killed a man for wounding me. Ooh. Even a young man for hurting me. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, then Lamech 77-fold. Interesting. Apparently, Lamech got in a tussle with someone, and it went a little too far, and he hurt him, but then Lamech killed him. And he's like, hey, if God's going to avenge Cain for a murderer, well, this is self-defense, so I should really get avenged. Not too much here you can really pull from. It's just kind of saying People aren't acting in a good way. People are getting more and more violent.
And just notice it's easy, but from like this section, verses 16 through 24, we've covered a few generations.
Sure.
This guy begot this guy, this guy begot this guy.
There's so many people on the planet.
So it's like a ways has passed, but still in the mind of Lamech, he's familiar with the events of Cain. And I mean, Cain's still probably alive.
Yeah.
We don't know that Cain's died. We don't know that Cain's dead today. That's the whole Bigfoot theory, which I do not believe, but I think Cain died. And we'll get to this even maybe when we get into chapter 5, as far as how, I mean, a lot of people start populating the planet, but a lot of people are living really, really long. So Adam's involved in his great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson's life. Like there's great-great-grandpa Adam. You could go and visit him. Yeah. So they're spreading, but there's still just like this connection of although all these generations are happening, we're not generationally removed from Eden because these guys are still alive.
Sure.
So
yeah, people still know there's the one true God.
Yeah.
Even though this weird angel stuff might have just started happening. Yeah. Verse 25, and Adam knew.
So it's like we're introduced to Cain. Here's this story about Cain. Here's all his kind of relatives and life. But it's like kind of a side note. But now we're back to Adam and Eve.
Sure.
So it's not like
after Lamech, then Seth. It's probably
right.
Yeah,
it's not like back to this scene of Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, good. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son and named him Seth, for God has appointed another seed for me instead of Abel, whom Cain killed.
A godly seed?
Maybe, perhaps, definitely, actually. And so this is Seth, and Seth would be the line that leads to Jesus, and God apparently tells him, hey, this kid you're going to have, this is it. And as for Seth, to him also a son was born, and he named him Enosh. Then men began to call on the name of the Lord.
Ooh, man.
Tell us about that.
That's good. You got a text?
Yeah.
They have their third recorded kid. Could be many, but their third recorded kid, this third son named in the Bible, Seth. What do we know? For God has appointed another seed for me instead of Abel. Abel's dead. Cain's cursed. Well, God's gracious. Son number 3, Seth. He's on the scene. This could be the seed. This could be the one. And although he's not the one, he is the one that the one will come from eventually. Yes. So this is the godly line of Seth that will get us to... now I actually don't know. I was going to say Abraham, but I actually don't know that. Or it is.
Yeah. Of course.
Seth, yeah, I guess, of course.
Seth to Noah.
Abraham.
Noah has Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Yeah.
And then from Shem.
Seth to Noah, to Shem, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to David eventually, to Solomon, to Jesus.
To Boaz.
Yeah, this is the
to Salmon.
Yeah.
Salmon's in there. Methuselah. Wait, yeah, Methuselah.
So this is a big deal. Seth coming onto the scene. His bloodline, his kids.
Yeah, and in a way we follow this. We follow this bloodline for the rest of the Old Testament. We're following this holy seed. And again, like in Ezra and Nehemiah, that's an idea of the holy seed. Like this is God's plan to bring about the seed of the woman to crush the head of the serpent. It's like, okay, here's the first guy in the line after Adam and Eve, Seth, and then we follow this line throughout the Bible.
So Seth grows up, he has a kid, Enosh, and he's leading his family. They're calling on the name of the Lord. Things seem real great.
Sure.
And they are kind of for a while.
Yeah.
Chapter 5 next week.
Okay.
And then chapter 6.
Read ahead. Chapter 5.
I don't want to spoil it.
It's good.
But there might be some real interesting nuggets that we get out of chapter 5. There might be some secret codes in chapter 5.
We usually don't believe in secret codes.
We don't want to read too much into it, but this one's really cool.
Yeah.
So read chapter 5.
This one's too good.
You're going to think this is boring, But when we lay this out next week, your mind's going to be blown. I remember the first time I heard Genesis chapter 5 taught by John Corson.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is crazy. And the best part about it is some of those things you have to stretch a little bit. Genesis chapter 5, no.
Yeah.
Like it really does just translate over well. So.
Yeah. And it's very unique in the Bible. You don't really see too many other things just like this cool right here.
It's because the Bible is an integrated message system, like Chuck Missler would say.
Amen. Well, thanks for listening, everyone.
Enjoy your waterbeds.
Yes.
And
the Super Bowl.
Read ahead on chapter 5.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.